All right, today we're answering questions from you guys via video about how to build a successful music school. Let's jump straight into it with our first question.
Hey, Johnny. So I've had this fear for way too long now about conducting group classes. I only do private lessons, and I'm so fearful to get them started. I guess my question is, in the beginning, how do I have confidence to sell something that I'm not going to be good at? How if I charge somebody $50 each session, and how am I going to give value to each person in that class? How can I show confidence that I'm going to know how to teach each student to where each student feels that they're getting value, and to have parents stare at me knowing that they're getting their value for the money? It's kind of rough when you're charging, say, $200 a month and you got four people in the class, but I have no confidence in myself or how to conduct it. So that's my question is how do I get the confidence, or what advice do you have for me in the beginning? Thanks, man.
Hey Brad, awesome question, man. A lot of people freak out about group lessons. They've ever known as one-on-one, right? They were taught one-on-one, they've taught one-on-one, and they have this kind of mindset that anything other than one-on-one is not as valuable, and it's almost like if you got two people in a group, it's like half the value. So first thing to note is that that's not actually the case. People all over the world teach successful group lessons. They're amazing at it, and students get lots of value. It's not like you buy a loaf of bread and it's carved up amongst five people. That's not what it is. It's more like the movies. You go to the movie, everyone in every seat enjoys the movie, right? It's not the experience isn't split evenly across everyone in each seat. So you need to know that many kids actually thrive better in group classes. They are actually, once you get good at them, they are actually more enjoyable to teach in many cases, because it actually removes a lot of pressure, not only on you, the teacher, but on the students as well, because you get to roam around a little bit more. It's more social. There's some healthy competition. There's so many benefits for groups as well as one-on-ones. And so some people are going to thrive better in groups. Others are going to thrive better in one-on-one, and that's totally fine. It's not that one is awesome and one is, this kind of substandard version. That's just not true. Now, as kids start out, it's much easier to do groups well when they're younger. As people get much more advanced and super personalized curriculum and higher level pieces of music and things, it's harder to do groups. And so that is often the time where people are better to be in one-on-ones, right? But you can build a really successful business while having groups, either only groups or groups plus one-on-ones as an option, so you have more of a hybrid school. That's what we had at our school. I'd say about 2/3 to 3/4 of those 2,000 students attending each week were in groups, and the rest were in more of a one-on-one setting. So being able to offer both is great. And people can always start in a group. It's more affordable, move to one-on-ones as they get better, and so it actually helps the parents by giving an easier, more affordable option to get into lessons before they know that their kid is really, really committed and going for it, and it's worth them investing more for the one-on-ones. So the two things really support each other. So that's one thing, is just to understand the mindset first, that these are really awesome things. They do require you to get good at teaching groups, which I'm going to talk about next, but it's not that one's crap and one's awesome. Okay, in terms of the two different models, groups and one-on-one. Next thing is that you've got to train yourself up to be a good teacher, right? So a few things that I'll link you to. So down below, I'll put a link to our BAM Squad library, and you can grab this for free. So just grab a free trial so you can get these resources. We literally put together, I think it's actually the best group lesson course I've ever seen. I haven't seen anything better, because it doesn't just come from one person, being me. We worked with, 10, 12 other successful music schools who focus on group lessons, and we literally built out everything that you need to know, right from the training through to curriculum, through to how you schedule, through how you literally teach the classes when you've got an unbalanced skill set. One kid's amazing and another kid's struggling. How do you handle these situations? Just the whole process of every question you could ever think about at group lessons. Go grab it for free in our library. I would start with that, just because every question you're struggling with and you're battling in your mind is going to be answered in that course, and you can grab it free. So that's where I'd start for training. A couple other things I'd say is that in there are some examples of live group classes. And so I think of Melanie, who recorded some, and so she's actually filmed some group classes. Then she does kind of a walkthrough talking about it, what's going through her mind as she's teaching these classes, sort of like a React video. I would watch those because you get to see what it's actually like, right? The next thing that I would say is that curriculum is really important. If you just teach your one-on-one curriculum to a group, it makes it quite hard. And so what we did at our music school is we actually ended up writing all of our own curriculum. So the teachers had books, that looked professional with our own kind of labeled covers and things. And the curriculum lent itself to being able to teach groups well. And actually that's all in our library as well. So you can grab that if you want. That's literally worth tens and tens of thousands of dollars. So you'll find that, I believe, in Module 4 under all our curriculum resources. So take a look at the curriculum. I'm not sure what instrument you're teaching, but just having that there to then know that you've got a beautiful plan, all the students are on the same kind of books, that's going to be hugely helpful. One other resource that's in the library you can check out, I believe this is in Module 4, as well as in Module 6, I think you'll find it's called Teaching Matters, and it's a teacher training program that we've filmed for all of our staff, and that now is used in hundreds of music schools around the world, so you can go through that. So all these resources available to help you train to be able to do group lessons. Now, the next thing is you can learn everything, and I'll be a little bit crass here. It's like having your first kiss or something. You could read every book and vlog an article about how to have your first kiss. Doesn't mean you're going to be a good kisser, right? You've actually got to have the practice, right? You got to step in and do it. Now, I know that's a bit cheesy and a bit crass, so I'll move on. But the point is, you can study how to do group lessons, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to actually reach out and start doing some group lessons. So what I would encourage you to do is to not just jump straight from teaching one-on-one to 1 to 5 kids or 5 to 8 kids or something like that. You want to start with like 1 to 2. So set yourself up with like one group class with just 2 kids. Learn what it's like to balance your time and to teach as a group, and have times where you're teaching both kids the same things, and times where you're moving between, and maybe depending what instrument you've got on, they might have headphones. Find what it's like to teach 2 at once, then work up to 3, and you get the hang of that, and then 4, and then 5. We sort of capped our school at groups of 5, unless it was like a band, and we could have sort of 6. But in the BAM squad, our Builder Music School community, there are schools that have like piano classes, and they've got 8 to 10 people for some of them. There's people even doing online groups for singing, which is one of the hardest ones to do groups, and they're doing them even over Zoom with 8 to 10 kids singing. So there's people that have figured it out, they've learnt, but they didn't go straight from teaching 1 to 10. They've kind of built up their capacity, developed the skill. Just like you would go to a gym, you wouldn't go straight to benching 100 pounds. You might start with 20 and move to 30 and 40. Same sort of thing with teaching groups. The last thing I'd say is just having that ongoing support is a really important thing, because when you're running your own teaching business, you don't have a boss, you don't have a manager that's kind of assessing you. The students don't know enough to give you all the highest level of professional development feedback that you need. So one of the things you can do is, if you're as part of, say, like the BAM squad, you've got all these teachers around the world doing it successfully already. So every little challenge that you face, it could be anything from a curriculum challenge, or like a skill set levels in a group challenge, to one kid, behaving really badly and how to deal with that in a group. And it could be any challenge. You've got this group for ongoing support and training, because they can answer the questions and give you the fast feedback on things they've already been through 100 times, and can help you fast track that problem. So there's a whole bunch of advice. I encourage you that even though you feel a bit nervous about it, just do it. I wish I'd started groups way earlier, and if I'd had the resources that I linked you all for free, I would have got that skill set so much faster. So click the link, dig in, get stuck into it, and I think you'll be really glad that you did it, because you're going to be able to reach more people. You make it a bit more affordable for people, so you actually do a better job for your community. Those kids get to experience music while they may not have otherwise been able to afford it in many cases, and you get to earn a lot more money, which means you're not a stressed out broke musician. You actually get paid what you deserve, and so everyone wins. And again, final point is just that it doesn't have to be exclusive. You don't have to only do groups or only one-on-one. You can do a hybrid, mix and match, and you decide the criteria of who gets into this class and who gets into this one and what you recommend to new customers. So there we go. Hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you got follow-up questions, but look forward to hearing how you get on. So get stuck into that link.